Here we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome to whatever this is. It's an interview with my friend Jeanette Yates. How's it going, Jeanette?
Great. I'm so excited to be here in the awesome, super cool group that you have here.
Yeah.
So, hey, everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? How you doing? We're going to do some weird stuff here. This is going to be fun. Jeanette, we met.
And we're hoping it works.
Yeah.
Right?
We've known each other for a couple of years now. Can you believe it's been like 3, 4,
Yeah,
5 years?
I don't know. Was I a guest on your podcast before we ever met in person?
Yes, you were.
Okay.
But we met through the Facebook group, the Facebook group, the only one that existed at the time, back in 2015, I think.
Yeah.
That was 5 years ago.
Did you do some research or something? Like, that sounds very...
I just remember when I got involved because it was such a defining moment for me. It was like I was in youth ministry and then boom, I'm in marketing, and it was like, okay, full on. And I was in the group, I was blogging, I was podcasting. It was like, I was taking everything that I'd done the 15 years before that and putting it down somewhere. And so,
and you and I have the same kind of experience of like getting connected with all the church communications kind of people because of church marketing sucks, and all that. Brady.
Right.
And
Shrine kind of came in through the same doors. Yeah. So, we've been around a bit and seen some things and, watched this whole communications thing for churches evolve and morph into what it is now and what it is becoming. It's been really cool.
And we're just riding the wave. Just, we're just...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but you've been kind of on a journey too. And so you're with Texan Church now. When we first met, you were, I think, part-time communications at a church in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes.
And so tell us, let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about kind of how you got from there to where you are now. Just really quick. What does that journey look like for you?
So, like with most church communicators, I stumbled into my position at my home church. I eventually moved a mile down the road to my mom's home church to do the job that is part-time, but not really, and is one thing, but really 27. And in the course of that, I had to teach myself all the things. So, and that's how I got kind of hooked in with all of the communication groups and resources and blogs and all of these things. And one of the things that I did to educate myself was I attended that church conference. And I don't remember if it was the first year or the second year I went. I think it was probably the second year because the first year I was just kind of getting the lay of the land and just kind of like meeting my tribe for the first time and realizing I wasn't alone, and it was really great. And Texan Church was one of the sponsors. So, I started getting emails from them and learning more about who they were.
Somehow.
And
they find you.
Didn't know how that worked. And I really just thought it was great. And I think I even did like a trial membership, and I was blown away because like I signed up and then I started getting these texts and emails from Tyler Smith, the owner, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. They're checking to make sure I know how this works, and here's Rachel and Caleb, and they're sending me emails to make sure I'm using the platform correctly, all this kind of stuff. So this happens, I'm feeling this love from this company with all of this communication. I feel like, gosh, this is really great. I'm seeing it work at my church. And then I go back the second year and I walk into Texan Church, or the third, whatever. I walk into Texan Church. There is Tyler, and I feel like I know him. So like I run up like a idiot, and I'm like, and I don't know, maybe he felt like he was a rock star. I'm not sure, but I felt like I was meeting a rock star. So I thought this was great. Well,
that's how I felt when I met Tyler as well. So
he is a rock star.
Kind of a rock star guy.
Actually, so that was really great, and his wife was there, and I just was like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. And bottom line is I started just connecting more with him and the people that work there. And I've just raved every time I could. I just raved about how great the customer service was, how great I felt as a customer, as a client, as a member of Texan Church every time I put on social. Well, long story short, they were like, "Hey, want to come do that a little bit more, for us?" And I thought, yeah, kind of do. And so for a while, I tried to do a little bit of just telling people how, because here's the thing. Texan Church was making me as a member, as a client, feel known, noticed, and loved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got that on. You got that behind you. I can't see it. Do you have it behind you?
Yeah. Can you see it?
No. There you go.
Known, noticed, and loved is how I felt as a client of Texan Church. And what I realized is, eventually I realized it's because they were using their platform to connect with me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, man, if that platform can make me feel that way, how much can it help my members feel that way? Yeah. My guests at the church.
And I think it's important for me to pause here and say that the reason I'm asking you guys to come in and talk about this is not because you're paying me. I feel the same way. Like, I just think it's a good product, and I think that it's exactly what you're saying, which is why I wanted to bring you guys on. I reached out to you and was like, "Hey, do you want to come in and talk about it?" Because again, in this group, one of the things that I want to make sure I always do is just share things that I know work and that I believe in. And so what you're describing is the way that so many people have described this platform, is that it makes you feel that way. And so using it as a tool for your church, it doesn't feel corporate. It doesn't feel, big business and mechanical.
Right. And it's funny that you talk about that, because that is exactly what I love about the platform that Texan Church has built. This idea that you can have something that makes it more simple for you to reach out to your members and your guests, which, for them, it's to reach out to their clients. So it's the same tool. And they're making sure that I know my next steps, know how to connect, and, are aware of things that are necessary for me, to do my next steps and whatever. So as a customer, but then that's what I need to do as a church communications director. That's what my pastor wants to do with connecting with members and with guests. And so I was like, wow, I was getting emails and texts from them for a good, I don't know, year before I was like, oh, it's not really Tyler texting me right now. But
it took that long to feel that way.
Yeah. Well, and I still, even to this day, when I get texts from the team from work, I'm still like, oh, they are really, they really are texting.
It feels very personal. Yeah.
It does. And that's what's really cool. And that's what I think, I say it all the time. I do demos every day where I share about Texan Church and what they do. And one of the things I say is like, listen, the customer service, the member success team is what sets Texan Church apart from a lot of other platforms, because they are dedicated. We are all dedicated. I can say we now because, borrow the term. That, we really want to help you learn how to use this platform, not to make it more difficult, but to make things easier on you so that you can spend more time actually connecting with your members and not trying to figure out how to use this really difficult platform. Because let me tell you, no platform will work if you don't know how to use it. Like, there's no magic, magic bullet. You have to be able and willing to use it. And the team at Texan Church, we really try to do a good job of making that possible. And so, and a lot of people, you were talking about how the Texan emails don't feel robotic, and yet they're part of an automated workflow. So how does that even work? And so that's one of the things I I talk about a lot, and I don't know. Let me see if I can get
Well,
it.
I'll say when I've talked to Tyler a couple of times as well as you about Text in Church, and when I was a communication director, was moving towards using it before I decided to jump out and do other things. But one of the things that struck me that was always common when you guys talked about it was that you said it's not a texting service. It's not just a texting service. It's a communications service. It's a way to connect with your people on multiple levels using multiple tools. So texting, email, I think there's even like a way to note cards, right? You're like,
we do have templates if you wanted to print something out, because some people just like to write down. Maybe they have like Sunday's their day, they don't have their phone or whatever. I don't know those people, but they exist out there. But another tool that we have that goes beyond just this texting is the feature that you can add to your website. So you're actually connecting with people before they even come into your church.
Like a little bot chat thing?
We call it the Smart Connect card, and it's a little conversation. Actually, I can pull up that screen too when we get to where we're going to share the screen. I can have a little demo church website.
That's great.
That shows how it works. It's pretty awesome. So
perfect.
Anyway, but these automated workflows are what really is cool about, and what really makes it easy on pastors and church communication directors and youth directors and children's leaders and volunteer team leaders, because we help you. We give you this workflow. We give you this templated workflow that you customize. So it's not some generic like, thank you for, this is the church.
Yeah.
Thank you for texting. Yeah. It's not that. It's you go in and personalize that for your church. And so that's why it sounds like it's coming, those texts that I was getting from Rachel or Tyler, or the email I was getting from Caleb, those were actually words that they would say if I were sitting with them, if I was talking to them on the phone, because they wrote those. Just like at my church, when we started implementing the guest follow-up automated workflow, we went in and said, what do we want to say here? Yeah. What are we going to do? And so we use the words of our church. Do you call it a sanctuary? Do you call it a worship center? Is it the family life center or the fellowship hall? Do we even use either one of those things? Yeah. I don't know, whatever.
But that's cool. You can personalize even the vocabulary and the language that sets your culture of your church up with that kind of stuff. Well, I think I'd love to see what it does, kind of get into the back end. I know that you do demos like this a lot, and we're just going to do a quick flyby right now, but you got a demo coming up that we'll share in the comments, right?
Yeah, so I do demos for people trying to decide, like, will Text in Church really work for my church? Like, we know nothing. We don't you can come to a demo. I lead the demos Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Central. And it's about a 15-minute long demo, which we're not going to take the time to do today. I'm just going to show you a little sneak peek here. Okay. But then after the demo, you can actually ask me questions. And it's really me. And you can really tell because, I take a sip out of my bubbly. Sometimes my dog barks. Sometimes the neighbor's deciding to put on a new roof.
Oh, yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, you can tell it's live. It happens.
Okay. Well, let me go to let you have full screen here, and
that I can figure this out.
That way you can share your screen. So I'll let you figure that part out. And again, as we're discussing Text in Church, follow-up system, communication system. There's just so many tools that you can use for it, and it's just a good program. And when you're trying to connect with your people, often we have a lot of these services. Excuse me. A lot of these services are separate. You've got your email.
I'm just laughing because I'm trying to figure out how to do what you're asking me to do. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, do you know how to share screen? And we're in Skype, everybody. Okay, we're in Skype.
I have no clue.
All right, so in Skype, I think
this is he's doing a little demo for me, guys. See, it's so meta.
I think if you hit the little three dots in the bottom,
yes,
it says share screen is the first one, I believe.
Yeah, if it was a snake, it would have bit me. Okay.
Well, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna back out. So
I'm gonna close this.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you looking at my screen?
We're looking at you.
Okay. So not sharing screen yet. Okay. Got it.
So if you go in.
Share screen. Start sharing. What screen am I sharing?
Oh, here you go. Hold up. I see you in Skype over here on my other thing. So
hold on, guys. We're trying to figure this out.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something a little weird. Okay, keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
I got it. I figured it out. You ready?
Okay. Yes. I have no idea.
We're going to go to my screen share. This is going to be so ghetto. Here we go. Ecamm is not always the greatest. There you go. Let me get all my stuff out of the way. All right.
Oh my gosh. I can't see anything, guys. I'm flying blind. I'm just looking at my own screen.
Are you serious?
Yes. Like I can't see. Well, no, I can see my screen that I'm trying to share with you. I hope it says first time guest follow-up kickstart.
It does.
Okay, good.
That's what we see.
So this is inside the Text and Church platform. And when you log in, I know I'm like, I don't even know how to make it bigger. So when you log in, you kind of see this screen and you can create a new text message, let's say, or maybe you need to add people to the system. You can do that, which we're not going to go into today. But what we've been talking about happens inside these groups. So we can create groups based on how we want to use Text and Church. So one of the ways we were just talking about is connecting with your guests when they come to worship on Sundays or whenever you have worship. And so you can create a first-time guest follow-up group, and you can give that group a keyword. We've given our group the keyword welcome, and that means that when someone texts the word welcome to our Text and Church phone number, which will be a local phone number for you, they'll receive a digital connection card, which will look something like this. Mm-hmm. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So they'll get a link to a digital connection card where they can fill out the information there. And once they hit submit, they're added to our group. So in our sample group here, we have one member, but which may be about accurate for your church. I know a lot of small churches maybe only have one guest every week. That's okay. Mm-hmm. This still works, even if you just have one guest or if you have a lot of guests. So that's the great thing about it.
So your groups over to the side there, those are like basically like segments of your list, kind of with email would work, kind of like that?
Yeah, So if I want to send a text or an email, I can choose one or more group to do that too. Okay, so cool. Yes, it is very similar to segmenting.
All right. Shameless plug. I just blogged about segmenting. It's out today. Go check that out.
Yes, let's check out the blog. But one of the things that we want to do before we share our keyword to have people text in to connect mm-hmm. is we want to have what are we going to do after they do that? So we want to set up an automated workflow. So when you first click on this automated workflow screen, none of this stuff is here, and you have to import steps. And so when you do that, it pulls up a list of all the automated workflows that Text and Church has created for you. Now, we have created these based on working with thousands of churches. And so these are workflows that have templates that have been tested and proven by thousands of churches. And the one we've already chosen, so I'm not going to re-choose it, is the first-time guest follow-up workflow. And when I choose that, it populates this area with all of the steps to the workflow.
Wow.
Now, there's a lot of steps in here, but some of those steps are texts that go to your guest. Some of them are emails that will go to your guest, and some of them are actual reminder messages that will go to your staff or volunteers so that they can follow up with your guest with that personal phone call or handwritten note or even visitation. So a lot of people, especially when they come to the demos, they're like, yeah, I'm just checking this out because somebody told us about it, but we don't want to depersonalize our follow-up system for the sake of, trying to make sure that we don't let people fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Even if we're connecting with everybody, if it sounds like a robot, we don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And I say, don't worry, because we're not trying to unplug you from your guests. We're trying to get you more connected with your guests.
Yeah.
So let's say you are a pastor of a church plant, and it's basically you and like one of your family members are the staff. Okay, so you're playing the guitar, you're preaching, you're making the follow, you're doing the administrative stuff, all of these things. Yeah. And you know that your people are falling through the cracks. So you want to implement the system. When you do this guest follow-up, you're going to know that, well, first of all, you're going to go customize each one of these texts and emails so that they sound like they're coming from you. So they are coming from you. You're just writing them all at one time. Yeah. So you're going to come into this text and add your own personal information. And the first text is probably just something like, thanks so much for connecting. And then your email that goes out, that first email is going to be maybe like a little bit more, information about your church, and other ways they can connect with you. Maybe ways they can, how do they get to your website to see more about you, things like that. But then you're also going to set up these reminder messages, and it may be just reminders to yourself because you're the only person. And like this one is like a deliver a mug reminder. So if you do some kind of delivery, or maybe you just do the handwritten note, whatever, you can change all of that. But you change it, and then you actually, to whatever you want it to remind you about, and then you come into the message, and it actually has a format here that tells you, hey, this is a confirmation email to let you know or remind you that so-and-so Seth recently visited. We've already sent him an email and a text. But if you'll drop off the mug at their house, that would be great. No need to stay long for a visit, yada, yada, yada. And then it gives that person all the information they need to do the task you're asking them to do as a staff member or volunteer. That's cool. So that's just an example of,
Yeah, because I know that often if you've got a couple of different things working, like you've got, I don't know, what's one of the texting, Clearstream, something like that. You've got MailChimp, you've got your own like planning center, emails going to people. You have no idea really what one person is receiving at a time.
Right.
Like they could be getting 4 emails in the same hour and you not know it. And it's just overwhelming. And then they're like, I'm done. And they unsubscribe and you never get to talk to them again.
Right. And so a lot of people look at this also, Seth, and go, golly, that's a lot of messages. Yeah. I'm like, well, first of all, take out all the reminders because those aren't going to your guest. Yeah. And then you see here that, yes, they're going to get 2 things right on the day they join. But one's a text message that just says, hey, thanks for connecting. Glad to see you at church today or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then the email's that introductory email. And then, they might receive something the next day. And what's cool is if you're like, no, that's a bit much, you're just going to go and deactivate or activate any step you want. So if you're like, I don't need that step, just deactivate it. Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to use it.
And they're 2 different things too. Like the text is short, like, "Hey, welcome to the thing. We're glad you're here." But the email is like, "Here's a little bit about our church," and then they don't hear it from you again. It's like, oh, "Okay, cool. We're not
right." And then these are scheduled out over about 6 weeks, and so 4 to 6 weeks is when the workflow is going to happen. So we're just talking about a touch point a week. Yeah. And, why 6 weeks? Well, again, like I said, this is something we've tested and proven. And, when you're asking someone to kind of change their habits, they're not going to be in the habit of being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get up early, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to go to church. I mean, that's not their habit. And so reminding them that you're thinking about them, that you've got stuff planned for them, that, here's a new sermon series, or can we, would you like to meet up for coffee or whatever? Over the course of 6 weeks is not too much.
And I think one of the main differences here is I've just noticed this talking to church communicators, we often talk about this type of thing based on our experience. And the experience that we've given our people is they showed up and they signed a connect card and gave us their email and had no idea they're going to be on an email list. We just put them on there. And with this, they actually text in to receive this. So this is something that they wanted. And there's a huge difference in communication people want and communication people didn't expect or don't want. And so when you're looking at this and going, man, that's too much. No, they opted into this. So they are more open to getting these messages than you probably are normally used to, because normally we put them on a list and start emailing them and they had no idea how they got there. And people don't like that. Like
we do recommend if you have the paper card that you do have something on there that just says, hey, is it okay if we text or email you, to connect further?
Right.
And so let's go back to our staff member of one, and he's got all this set up. Let's say, because he's a staff member of one, there's a really bad week. A hurricane's coming, whatever. So, that's where I live in hurricane area. So like I think about these, but sometimes the wheels fall off the bus. Life happens. And what if he can't get to any of those? He's getting the reminder messages, but he doesn't have time to follow up with a phone call or drop off the mug or write the note. Guess what? Because they're in this workflow, they're getting at least some connection.
Yeah.
And that's what I think makes it really cool is even, yes, life happens. And sometimes, either the one staff member that's supposed to do it all can't do it, or your volunteer flakes out and doesn't remember. Maybe that happens from time to time. I don't know. It's real life.
Well, you said
your guest is still getting connected with via text and email. And so I think that's pretty great.
It's awesome. You said you had a website that you wanted to show us that kind of how it works. Can we, you want to take a look at that or?
Well, what I wanted to show you, so this is the first time guest follow-up workflow. And this is, like I said, they're going to text and they're going to get, they're going to text the keyword. They're going to get this. Once they fill it out, they're going to get an email, and text message and all that kind of stuff. But there's another kind of thing that's really cool that we're really jazzed about, and that's for this plan a visit feature.
Yeah.
And because as much as we want to connect with our guests, as they're, when they come and after they leave, there's another group of guests that we want to connect with, and those are our website guests. Those are visitors to our website. Yeah. And so that's why we created the Smart Connect card. And so the Smart Connect card is just a way to connect with people when they come to your website. They're probably coming there to try to figure out what your deal is and like how to get to your church on Wednesday. Yeah. So we have a Smart Connect card. So I will try to pull that up here. We have this little demo site, and you can actually go to the site, you guys. It's called demo.texanchurch.com. I'll blow up my screen again so everybody can see. So when you're creating your Smart Connect card, you can actually decide, do I want it to be a sticky banner? Do I want it to be a button? Do I want it to be a chat bubble?
Okay.
Or all of those, as you see, they were all up here. And I actually paused this so it wouldn't just start blasting because there's actually a video on the Smart Connect card. But you can, so what the Smart Connect card will do, so this is just like a group. So once somebody fills this out, they're going to be added to that Plan My Visit group. And this Smart Connect card is different than the Digital Connect card because it walks you through kind of step by step. So, hi, what's your name? Oh, well, thanks, Seth. Can I have your email address? That kind of thing. And walks them through. And then when we're done, when they submit the end of this Smart Connect card, we also have a Plan a Visit workflow that walks them through everything.
Okay.
So that kind of, maybe you send an email out that's like, thanks for planning your visit. Here's some other things you need to know. And then you're texting them, later in the week, like, we're looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. Do you have any questions? That kind of thing. Yeah. And then checking up with them the day after they visit.
Interesting. So, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned the plan your visit thing. That's such a huge, tool for a website to connect people from, like, you don't even know they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of coming in from the website. It's like literally turning your web. We always say the website's the front door of your church. We're literally turning it into that.
Yeah.
By connecting people through that. That's really awesome.
And, some people won't want to plan their visit. That's fine. But some people do. I mean, that's literally the only reason they're going is they want to visit, and they want to figure out how to do that. And if you have this, then they don't have to go jumping through page after page to figure that out.
It's and obviously on the other side of this, with a plan your visit, you got to have the connection, the structure to set up to like handle that.
Sorry.
Did you just explode?
I just sneezed.
Awesome.
It's live. It's live.
That's awesome. Well, so anyway, you have to have the structure on the other side, obviously, to handle that. So one of the things I know, when I was looking for a church, to go to, it's really nice. I was looking for like, how do I get quickly assimilated into like information. Like I need to know about this place. I want somebody to take me around. I want somebody to tell me about it. I'm going to go back to, are we done with your share screen?
I think so, unless you have something else specific you want me to dive into.
I don't. Here we go. Let's get back to this. I think I can add.
Oh, did I mess you up? Do I need to share my screen?
All good. Okay, We're back. We're back. All right.
I'm so sorry I sneezed, you guys. At least we're not in the same room.
It's all right. No worries at all.
It's Jeanette. What can I say?
Yeah,
that's just how I roll.
Yeah. But anyway, it's what was I saying? I think you got to have that structure. You got to have that pickup to to be able to catch people as they're coming in. It would have been really nice to have like personal guided tour kind of the church, and here's what we're about, and here's who we are, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really nice to have when you have that plan your visit. So
actually, hang on just a second. I have a little thing to say about that. You want to do a little guided tour as part of your plan of visit? How about a video on your Smart Connect card? You can do that too.
Oh, wow.
So you can create a little video and embed it into your Smart Connect card. So when that pops up, so that demo.texanchurch.com, when you click that Smart Connect card, which you can actually do and fill out just to see how it works.
Yeah.
It has a video on it at the beginning, and then it has a video as part of the confirmation page. So it kind of does walk you through and gives you a little tour, like this is what it looks like in our lobby, and this is, without, what's great is like a good video doesn't have to say all that. It just shows it in the B-roll while the person's
talking. Exactly.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Pro tip. You don't have to sit there and be like,
super easy to record one of those, honestly. Take your iPhone, get the space, and then do your voiceover later into a mic, much like what you're wearing there, what I'm wearing here. Just grab and voice it over and record it. And your phone even, and then slap them together. Really easy to do. So, okay, well, man, this is awesome. Thank you for walking us through Texan Church and what it does. You're going to do a demo later today, 12 o'clock Central. We'll drop the link in the comments for people to sign up to that. And if you're interested in signing up for Texan Church, I'll drop an affiliate link too. For me, it is an affiliate link, but you get 500 free messages, I believe, when you sign up with my link. So there's that. Pretty cool. So anyway, well, Jeanette, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time and hanging out. It's always good to talk and hang out with you as well.
Well, I always love chatting with you. We've been through it together, and I just love everything that's going on in your group and with your awesome emails that you send. They're great. All that you do, all the new stuff you're doing, just incredible. So thanks for having me on today. And please, you guys, come see me at a live demo.
Will do.
It's awesome. We have a lot of fun. Just saying. Awesome. It's fun.
Well, we'll drop those links in the show notes, which are the comments of this.
Yes. I call them show notes too. It's like it's close. I'm like in the show notes.
That's what it is. I'm podcast world. It's show notes. So
that's right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. And we'll be back again next Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I'm trying to bring some kind of really great live video value to this group to get started with just bringing some really helpful tips, tools, people like Jeanette to come in and just really enhance what we do as communicators to really help you guys out to do what we do and do it better, because what we do ultimately affects people's eternity, and that is always in the front of my mind.
No pressure.
And so we want to make sure we're doing the very best we can, and it's super important in this noisy digital world we live in. So thank you, Jeanette. Really appreciate you. We'll be back in a week. I'll see you around the group. So any questions below, throw those in. We already dropped the link in, so that's there. And
I'll hop back in and answer questions on the comments too. So
awesome.
Leave me some questions there too. Awesome, you guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. See ya.